notification. All right. Oh,
Okay.
wow. Looking great as ever.
Oh, thank you. I can't see you yet.
Yeah. Can you see me now?
Yes, you're there. Oh, you are pretty
Hi.
gorgeous. I
Same
have
to you.
I've seen a few videos of yours, and it's a coincidence that I have been wanting to speak to you, but I was like, because I work all week, I don't really get time. So I do all my calls in the weekend. So I had already three calls in the morning. And
Oh,
I happened to see your message in the group. And then I was like, okay, let me grab this opportunity.
I also feel blessed to be here in front of you, and I'm also feeling over the moon, right?
Oh, thank you for that. You're kind. Right.
Okay.
So should we start with the introduction then? Because
Yeah, yeah, why not? So, Shaila, at this side, Ritu Pathak, and I'm connecting you from Agra. I'm an English communicator, and you can say English teacher, and I'm very passionate about this language. I love this language a lot. So, that's my crisp introduction. Would you mind to introduce yourself?
of course. So, as my name is Shaila. I am originally from India but live in England now. It's been over 13 years I've been living here. I moved to the UK in 2012, early 2012. Um, I am not a teacher or anything by profession, but my only connection with English is that I have been using this language actively for the past I mean, when I started my career in 2005, that's when I started using this language actively. Before then, I wasn't actually, just like because I'm from Kerala, I we tend to use our native language quite often, even though uh, a lot of people actually speak really well in Kerala, but people are more comfortable with using Malayalam. Malayalam is our native
Right.
language. So even in why I'm saying that because in schools and colleges now might have changed because with all the social media influencing and the situation has changed a lot now. Um, but before in especially because I'm coming from a Malayalam medium school, I hardly used English as a spoken language at school, mostly Malayalam, and then moved when I moved to the +2 level. That's when I actually started learning English words of the corresponding Malayalam terminologies. And then even then I wasn't actively using English. And then when I started my job is when I actually started using this language in a spoken form. And yeah, and I live here with that's my English connection actually. So I have been surrounded by this language for the past 13 years here in this country um,
Yeah.
with my husband and my 12-year-old son. Yeah, and I work for a living. I do a 9 to 5 job. I work in the IT in for a corporate organization.
Right.
I work fully remote. That's pretty much about me. And I have this channel called Speak with Shaila, which I started only in December. Uh, yeah,
So,
it's,
are
it's
you enjoying this new journey of yours?
yeah, it is. I love it. Just like how you said that you like this language. I like this language as well, mainly because I haven't not been exposed to it much
Hmm.
when when I did my schooling or even when I did my college. I wasn't really using it, and when you are kind of kept away from something, then you get attracted to that more.
Exactly.
Yes. So I enjoy this mainly because not because I don't know if I how much I can grow in this as a channel, but I quite enjoy talking to people. Um, Moreover, when I create some videos, I have been using creating a lot of videos, which I have actually didn't have a chance to do it for a week or so now. But when I do that, I do a bit of preparation along the way. I'm also learning something new or the other, every day. So it's always a mode of, I mean, this platform is. something that we can use to for self development, I think.
Right, 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 right. So, apart from connecting with people over a video calls or audio call, whatever you find comfortable with, what else sources you are involved in, right? I mean, do you listen to any favorite you know, podcast or audio books, or you read books?
Yeah. So I'm not a good reader. I have been. I mean, that's in my it's in my to do list. I every day, think about like, yeah, I have to start reading. But I do watch English movies, and that's maybe I reading when it comes to reading, I'm a bit lazy. But again, I'm not really an active movie watcher or something. Like, whenever when my husband watches an English movie, then I join him, and that's how I do. I don't really actively do anything, but it's something that I have. Reading is definitely because it's the best when it comes to improving your vocabulary. Is something that, as everybody says, that's the best, and I have to actually start doing as well. Other than that, actually, I think I speak to my son here because he's 12, and he doesn't speak our native language. I mean, his native language is kind of English now, but
Right.
by my mother tongue, he doesn't speak that. And because he started going to nursery at an early age, like a year and a half, he started, and there was a kind of a bit of delay with his speech, so like he didn't speak until 2, and then when he started going nursery, then they said, okay, why not stick to one language. That's how we started
So
using this one.
I think that you are naturally immersed in this language. The place where you live in right now, it's mandatory for
Yeah,
you to speak up in English, and that means that you have a natural advantage. I think so. That you no need to worry about how to learn this language, because
yeah,
normally people suggest. I mean, many YouTubers or they suggest, many experts they suggest that we should immerse ourselves in this language. We should surround with people, so you have that advantage
yeah,
being there. And of course, you have your son with you, your husband, so that you can converse with them. I mean, at your ease. Every time,
yeah,
I mean, you have to converse in English language. So, yeah,
yeah.
that's
But
a
my
big
husband is from Kerala, where I am from as well. So we both speak in Malayalam, but it's our son who doesn't. He understands a bit of Malayalam. I even tell him that I'm going to get him a teacher because I try to teach him. It's hard at this age. It's hard to learn But that being said, he learns French now. He uses Duolingo. You know Duolingo.
okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he uses Duolingo that
Yeah.
app,
Yeah.
and he's very actively doing it. But when I ask him, okay, let's learn Malayalam this way, then he's not interested because Malayalam is not as easy as Hindi.
Exactly.
Malayalam language, I can't name, but yeah, the more number of languages you know, it's better for your brain and also overall development. So I tell him that to learn, but I will teach him.
Yeah, definitely. I think that Malayalam is one of the toughest languages.
Yes,
And yeah, being from Malayalam background, he must know. I think you feel like that. He
yeah,
must know whenever you come to India, then basically,
yes,
yeah, his grandparents must feel that way. That okay, we feel connected. When
yeah,
we know our native language, then
true.
yeah, grandparents, we feel connected. Otherwise, it's not a big deal if he is not comfortable with it, because being parents, we feel that our children should speak native languages. All
Yeah,
right, right. And I think that you must be very busy apart from weekends. Yeah, 5 working days would be very hectic for you.
I know. Yeah, it is. It's not that hectic in terms of my current project, and work wise, it's kind of relaxed at the moment. Especially because I don't have to commute to work, which is really a blessing because I'm working fully remote. Um, Thanks to COVID for that, because it's before COVID, everybody, it was a different world before COVID, wasn't it? Now I used to do like daily commute to work, which was like you spend a- an hour and a half, 2 hours on the road, stuck in traffic, which
Exactly.
was a pain. no longer having to do that is a blessing, really. Really. Are you working or are you homemaker? You do
No,
just
no. I'm actually basically self-employed. Years back, I used to be a teacher in a private school, but because of my certain, personal situations, I have to quit my job, and now I am full-time. You can say homemaker, self-employed. I have a lot on my plate, but whatever I'm doing, I
yeah
think that was my dream. So I have no regrets. I have no repentance as well, and I'm enjoying whatever I'm doing. My both children are grown up
yeah.
and they are doing well in their lives. So yeah, I have a lot of not
Wow.
free time, I can say. Not free time because I don't want to get free time. That is my personal choice, because I feel that if we have a lot of free time, then we definitely involve ourselves into some negativity.
Yeah.
So yes, it impacts me a lot. So I always want to be a busy bee doing something or the other, if not my household chores. So yeah, I have also a lot of students from not only from India but abroad. So
Oh,
yes,
great.
initially I'm very happy. Since
Yeah.
my childhood, I had only one dream. I wanted to be an English teacher, and
Really.
yes, really, because my mom was a teacher, and
Okay.
I used to look at her when she used to put those beautiful, bright, vibrant saris and makeup. So I used to think, it's a very childish dream that, oh, teacher means to put a lot of makeup on you and do yeah, well hairdo, and you we have to wear those vibrant and beautiful saris. But now I realize it's not like that. It's a very tough job, it's a very responsible job. You have to be mindful, you have to be dutiful, and you can't teach anything wrong in the class. Like, there are so many people who think this way that teaching is a very, a kind of a profession that you can be at ease, but for me it's not. I work very hard with my students, and I make sure that before entering in my class I must be well prepared,
Yeah.
so that yeah, that has to be a very dynamic, bombastic, whatever you can say, session, so that my students can have a takeaway from me. So I
Yeah.
think, like, so I love to work hard, you can say I'm workaholic, and I love to have a lot on my plate. So that's my perspective.
Yeah, it's interesting. As you said that you wanted to be a teacher, but I had to tell you that you should have tried in movies. You look gorgeous.
Ah.
Yeah.
Then what about my students? My students, actually, what happened one day, let me tell you a very funny incident. I actually just wanted to test the patience, the level of my students, and I made an announcement, and I'm not going to teach them anymore because I'm moving out of India. It was just an absurd idea. It came into my mind. I want to test that how much they love me. I couldn't tell you, they started crying bitterly. And each and every parent was calling me that, ma'am, what did you say in the class? The children are crying. I said nothing. I just said that I am just leaving them because I have to move from India, and then that's it. I can't teach them. So they were saying like, okay, Mama, we won't be able to learn anything from any other teacher. We want only this teacher to be
Oh,
there.
sweet.
So yeah, when people ask me how much money you earn, basically, I tell them I don't care about money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a blessing that I am financially stable. What I have earned in my life since now is respect with love. So that
Yeah.
is a, yeah, that is a, you can say, an enthusiastic uh, blend for me, and I always love whosoever comes in contact with me, because I am a person who believe to spread love, kindness, and generosity. It doesn't cost you a dime. If you are a happy person, you will spread happiness around you. People will
Yes, it
love you
reflects
for.
on your face actually. Uh, I know the reason why I said that, you have kind of some, I don't know if it's just me, but I find kind of striking resemblance with, Maushami Chatterjee, Maushami Chatterjee?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
actress, you
it's a
have some kind of,
compliment.
yeah, you, that's why I said that you should have been in movies.
She is
You
one
have
of
lovely
my
features.
favorites.
Yeah, you have lovely features, facial features, really nice. And
Thanks.
you're speaking of teaching, yeah, being a lovely teacher. who the teacher who is kind to her students. I can very well relate to it because I had a teacher really when I learned Hindi from. Hindi I can speak a bit, like I would say like 90% I can speak, but I struggle with the gender, hiya, hiya, that kind of thing like that.
Right, right,
But other than that, I learned this kind of spoken Hindi from my that teacher who used to be a Hindi teacher. She was in the teacher in school or anything. She was just doing it privately. She used to charge us so low those days, like I'm telling about the when I was like in year 7 or 6, that age. It's years ago, and she used to charge us only like 25 rupees for 1 month. Can you believe? And even then, there were students who were not able to afford to pay that. She would just teach them for free. She wasn't really charging them. And then, what more than learning anything from her, we used to enjoy because we used to go to her house, and then it was like Gurukul, like what do you call it? Gurukul kind of thing,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, traditional kind of.
Yeah, at her house, and then we have all freedom entering her house. We opened her fridge, we have food from her fridge. Yeah, she was so kind, I can't believe. So going to her was like it wasn't a when you think about usually tuition, you feel like, oh, I have to go, but no, going to her was really like a fun or entertainment kind of thing. But at the same time, she had the best teaching skills, I would say, because how I learned Hindi from her was she used to have these little translation books. She would make us do those translations over and again. Like then you just get that spoken language. It's not like she's not taking us through any grammar lesson or anything, but using these little translations. I was wondering if translation it would be helpful for as a you are a teacher. Maybe you could use something like that. Like translations really help, like giving in the native language and vice versa. So
Exactly.
that really helps with learning a new language, I think.
Right. See, this is the impact when you have a powerful and kind teacher in your life.
Yeah.
Still, you remember her. Still, you remember her.
Yes. Yeah.
So yes, that is the motto of my life as well. That I want to be, certainly I want to be a kind of person people remember me for long, and still, whenever I have to go to a party, then sometime or the other I coincidentally meet my old students, and they are now all married. Mostly they are married because I have been in this profession for the last 35 years. It's a
Yeah.
massive, yeah, it's a massive
Oh my God,
period.
you don't look, I think you started got married
Early.
early, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
I got my first tuition when I was in my 10th standard.
Oh,
So yeah, I
wow.
love this profession. It's so close to my heart, and it's you can say a part and parcel of my life. And yeah, and the girl, the student, was also from 10th standard. So I was in 10th standard. I taught a girl from 10th standard. So this is how my journey began.
Wow.
Yes, and kudos to one of the grumpy teachers who taught me this lesson: never give up. She was a very grumpy and snowy kind of teacher. She threw my notebook out of nowhere, and she cracked a very bad joke just by looking at my notes. So it felt so bad, and I made a promise to myself that I would be an English teacher, and I show to this person that what I can do. So this is always I want to convey the message to even beginners that never give up. See, consistency is the key. You keep on
Yes.
learning. Life,
Yes.
yeah, treat life as a marathon. You
Yeah.
have to run on the track
Yeah.
consistently. That is the actual process to learn anything. Mistakes are inevitable. You can't skip committing mistakes. So that's okay. Mistakes are also very important. If you are not committing any mistake, it means that you are not learning in the right way. So
Yeah.
yeah,
True.
commit mistake and learn from that.
Yeah, yeah. You can't be perfect with anything. Actually, you can just become a better version of yourself the next day. Every day you're a better version of yourself. That's what one should be striving for.
Exactly.
And as you said, the teachers being kind. I remember different kind of what this particular teacher was one kind teacher, but I also had teachers, who will come with a stick and then he smack you. So that I don't get the point of getting smacked. Why? What? How can you make? I mean, some kids get do they get scared of that and then they do
Right.
maybe do better. But there are other ways to make one learn than using it's not allowed anymore in India, is it? To smack kids with sticks, and is
Yes.
it is the punishments allowed? Kind of using stick or
Yeah, yeah, they
is it
are. They used to be allowed. No, not still. When
allowed
I
anymore?
was, yeah, when I was in my, in my sixth standard, fifth, I still remember I was in convent institution, and there we used to have Anglo-Indian teachers.
Oh, okay.
Yes, English was mandatory in those days. I couldn't frame a single sentence correctly, so every time I chose to zip my lips. So that was not I know that that was not the right approach, but there was nobody. It's very sad, it's very painful to think now. There was no one to help me out that way. Therefore, I made it a point in my life. If God allows me to be a teacher, I would help everyone whatever I can do for them. And you see, here I am. I have also been a very active member of an NGO where I
Oh,
teach
are
children
you?
for free. Yes, and when I
Wow.
see when I see their happiness, when I see the light on their face, I feel very happy. And they are my true inspiration. I think that I have everything in my life. Then also, why am I so sad? Look at these children. They
Yeah.
don't have parents. They don't have money. They don't have anybody in the name of relation, but still they are happy. So
Yeah.
I must be, yeah, we must feel ashamed of ourselves, even we have everything, we are crying. Yeah, so my maids, these are my influencers. I
Yeah.
take a lot of inspiration from my maids, from my servants, from children around the world who are, underprivileged. They teach you exactly what is the meaning of life. You once go to a hospital, make a round in the hospital, see what is the condition around the world. Instantly you will start feeling a kind of a strength and power. You have money, you have good family, you have good dresses to wear, you have
Yes.
good makeup to put on, you have good food. At least you have choices to make. I won't
Yeah.
be eating this, I want to eat this. They don't have any choice, still they
No.
are
Yeah.
happy.
I
So
know.
see,
Yeah. I
yeah,
keep telling this to my son. That he when he don't worry about what you don't have. You just look at some people who don't who crave for what you have. So I when I take him on when I do the school run, I keep telling him these so that he because we live here, he doesn't have that kind of the cultural differences there. So I want him to have that kind of what we the emotions, everything is different here because I don't know if it's with the it's a totally different culture and how people, for example, when they um, in offices when we walk past someone and then they just maybe our colleagues when they just say you all right, you all right, and then they just walk away. They don't even wait to hear if I'm really all right or not.
exactly,
That's how
exactly.
it is, it's just all formalities.
It's a formality.
Yeah,
It's a
whereas we don't have we don't say thank you, we don't ask how are you, but when we do we really mean it. I'm not.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm not really putting blame on anyone, but it's the cultural difference.
It's the
So
cultural difference, it's the emotional differences. We
yeah,
have so many diversities, and the best thing is we should accept all with love and kindness. Like,
yes,
yeah, a person varies from person. They have their own differences, they have their own cultures, they have their own mindset. So nobody should be blamed for that. We are living in this universe. We have our own problems, we have our own lives, and certainly we shouldn't waste our time in just making that kind of connection and bond. If it happens, then it's okay. Otherwise, move ahead. That's what, yeah, we don't have everything in control. You see, whatever
yeah.
is in our control, we are doing. We are already
No,
doing.
it's just a small life, isn't it? The short lifespan. We hardly live for like 70, 80 years, and then yeah, It's just make the best use of our time. Be nice, kind. That's yeah, kindness takes you a long way, as they say. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
Shaila,
what
was
any
yeah.
weekend plans? Any? It's almost a weekend. Saturday is coming to an end for you, isn't it? Already.
Yeah, it's very hectic for me. Weekends are a bit hectic for me. I have to actually wind up a lot of assignments and
Okay.
many pending works also. And most probably, I pick one-on-one sessions on weekends because in normal days I have back-to-back batches. So Saturday, Sundays, I keep safe for my children from abroad because they prefer to have one-on-one session, which is quite hectic sometimes, but it's very flexible. Even I mean, they don't mind if I just drop them a message, I'm not available today, or if they drop a message vice versa. So it's very flexible because this is life, you can't predict everything. I have sometimes I have to go somewhere, sometimes not feeling good, sometimes it happened that my family needs me. So like this is
Yeah.
life, and you can't predict even the next second what is going to happen the next second. So yeah, they are happy, I am happy, we all are happy, and that makes some sense in the whole world.
Right.
Right.
All right. Then, yeah, it was so nice chatting with you. I wasn't really thinking that I would get a chance, it was not something that we were planning to do. It just came out of the blue, and I'm
Yes,
so
yes,
glad that we got to connect, and we should connect again in a month or two whenever you're free.
yeah.
And yeah, thank you so much, Ritu. I appreciate your time. And yeah, have a lovely rest of the weekend. And
Same to
you have
you,
a busy week.
Shaila. You two are a very generous and lovely person. I enjoyed every second of this conversation.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Bye,
Take
Shaila.
care.
Take
Take
care.
care, dear. Bye.
Bye.
Take